talk about the parts of the dulcimer. The first I want to talk about is the hammers. You have all kinds of hammers. Some just have one side, but my hammers have two sides. I call them win-win because I've got the wooden side that I can play loud, or I have the felt side that I can play softly, and I can actually switch up during a song. Now, on the hammer dulcimer itself, I'm going to start by telling you about the bridges. On this side we have this wood piece that goes down the length of the dulcimer, that's the treble bridge, and over here we have the bass bridge. You can play on the right or the left side of the bridge, and that's your higher tones. Over here you can play on the left side of the bass bridge, and that's your lower tones. Now when I look at this, this would just be a sea of strings. I wouldn't know where to start if I didn't have marked places on my bridge. And these marked places designate the beginning and the end of major scales. So right here I have a D scale that starts, and at this marked place I have a G scale that starts. Now across the bridges we have the strings, and they're in groups of 2, although you can buy dulcimers with them in groups of 3 or 4. And every 2 strings is called a course. Now the size of your dulcimer determines how many courses you have. A 12-11 dulcimer will have 12 courses across the treble bridge, 11 courses across the bass bridge. Now my dulcimer is a 17-16, so I have 17 across the treble, 16 across the bass. Now, when I hit a string like this, the string vibrates. In turn, that vibration is carried to the bridge, and the bridge vibrates. The bridge vibrating is carried to the soundboard, and that starts vibrating. When the soundboard starts vibrating, the air inside this box starts vibrating. And that's what makes your tone. And the more that this air vibrates, the louder your tone will be, and the longer your tone will last. So when you get ready to buy a dulcimer, be sure to try several out to see which tune pleases your ear. They're handmade, so every dulcimer is different, and you'll need to check that out. Now at the end of the strings, we have the tuning pins that you turn by increments to tune your strings up or down a little bit at a time. And we'll talk about those more in another lesson. And finally, we have the dulcimer stand. You want it not too high so you don't get shoulder ache scrunching up, and you want it not too low so you don't get a backache or a neck ache. And some people like theirs slanted up so they can just sit and play like this. I prefer mine almost level so that the audience can see what I'm doing. It's all up to your personal preference. There's no right or wrong.